Yeah, hi there. And these comments are for, I'm going to just use um, your first name, Purvi. Let's take a look at your situation. So I'm a physical therapist in New York. I studied in India. I live in New Jersey since 5 years. I would say there you have different ways of saying that idea. I have lived in New Jersey for 5 years. Or if you say since, go back 5 years from now, you might say, since 2005, I have lived in New Jersey. Right? Just some grammar tips there. So you say, I have to take the TOEFL exam, so could you help me out? The answer is yes. I will start ASAP. I noticed you signed up today, actually, so welcome to my 7-step system, my online TOEFL course to help you improve your TOEFL score. So you say, I need a break between the 15th to the 23rd of September because I'm going on vacation. I knew from online you have 1 month planned duration. Would you help me? What I have to do, I look forward from hearing. You want to say from hearing from you soon. Or I look forward to hearing from you soon. So I don't really have a situation like that. Let me ask you this. Let's say that you go to Columbia University in New York. So you join the school, you pay your tuition, and then let's say uh, a month down the line you're going to miss school for a week because of a vacation. Now, do you think they're going to refund your tuition for that week? I don't think so. So I don't really do that either. So, and remember, my service is only $35 here. What are you talking about? You're going to save what, $6? I mean, so I don't really have any option for that. But how my course works is you use my service as long as you need it. So once you subscribe, you'll have a 1 month access to my lessons. Now, if you don't use it, I have no control over that. But the more you use it, obviously, the higher your TOEFL score is going to be, and especially if you begin posting pronunciation, speaking, and writing practice tests, you're really going to get better because now you're getting feedback from me. You will now get feedback on how you're doing with your pronunciation, your speaking, and your writing, whatever. So I don't really have any type of policy that will help you out in your situation. But if this becomes a big problem for you and you feel like you want some kind of a refund, if it gets to that point, then what you can do is once you cancel my service and you decide you no longer need to use it, I can also put a free week at the very end. I can probably do that if that makes you feel better. But so what you want to do, Purvi, is let me know once you do cancel. You can say, hey, Michael, remember I talked to you and I told you that I would not be able to, to use your service for about a week because of vacation. So if you remind me when you cancel, then I'll give you a free 7 days after that. All right? Does that help out? Now, you probably, based on your writing here, I can tell that you have some pretty big problems that you want to solve right now. So here are my recommendations. If you're a physical therapist, you need to get 26 and also 24 on the speaking and writing sections. Right? Which is, I got another message from you. I'm just looking at it now. Exactly. So you need to get 21 on the reading, 18 on the listening, 26 on the speaking, and 24 on the writing. Right? So I did earlier today, I sent you your username and your password so that you can have access to my lessons. Now here's my recommendations. I recommend you use my service for about 3 months. This is probably going to be pretty beneficial for you based on your current English proficiency level. Now remember, if you're already pretty high, if your score is over 100, obviously you don't need my service that long. But let me give you a situation. I had a student, Purvi, a few months ago when he came to me. his TOEFL score, and you're not going to believe this, was 108. However, his speaking score was 22. Now, everything else was almost perfect, like 29 or 30 and everything else. Now, how long do you think it took him to improve his score from 22 to 26? 6 weeks. It took him 1.5 months. And that's actually not unusual because he had to work on a lot of pronunciation problems in addition to some other minor problems with his grammar and his language use and his topic development. But his big challenge was his intelligibility. So some of the problems that you're trying to solve, they may not be solvable in 30 days. But if you're patient, if you keep studying the lessons in my online course and you continue to get the feedback from me, I promise you, you will get better. But remember that you have some very, very high goals here. 26 and 24 on the speaking and writing are very, very tough. You can do it, but it takes time. So here's what I'm recommending. So for the first month, Purvi, you can focus on the pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar sections of my course. This is the foundation type English proficiency skills. This is what I recommend you focus on first. You must build these skills before anything else. It's kind of like this. Don't put the cart in front of the horse. And what I'm saying is, don't focus too much on the IBT test-taking strategies before having achieved your basic foundation level of English. So after the first month, the second month, you can focus in the reading and the listening aspects of my course. And then in the third month, you can focus in the speaking and writing parts of my course. That's probably a pretty good plan for you. And you might say, well, Michael, I mean, how much information do you have? Well, believe it or not, I have 170 hours of instruction in those 7 areas. So I have a lot of information here, and you probably will need to go through it several times before you really understand what it is I'm trying to teach you, especially the vocabulary section. I mean, ask yourself, my vocabulary section has 1,700 TOEFL words. I mean, how long does it take to learn those words? You can't do it in probably a week, but between 1 and 2 months, you can make some very good progress toward learning those words. All right, so then the very last question that you might be wondering is, how do I know if I have completed successfully one of your sections? Obviously, when you get to the last lesson of that section, you finish, but does that mean you move on? Or should you continue to review the lessons in that section of my course? Here's how you know. Number 1, when you score 85% on the vocabulary final exam, you have finished my vocabulary section. Number 2, once you reach 5.1 out of 7 on my intelligibility post-test score for the pronunciation part of my course, you have finished that section. 3, grammar. Once you've gone through all the lessons, and especially you've completed grammar lesson number 7, you want to write this down. Once you've completed all the lessons in grammar lesson 7 and you feel like you're getting more answers right than you are wrong, I think you're done with the grammar section. With the listening part of my course, your goal is to get about 85% on my listening practice test and do that 4 times or 5 times in a row. What I'm saying is, if you consistently score about 85 on my listening practice test, you're definitely ready to move on. Finally, in the reading, once you've achieved a speed reading, a reading speed of 300 words a minute, and on the quiz you got 80% on it, you have an adequate reading speed for the TOEFL. Now, with the speaking and the writing, you will know. You will know in your heart when you're ready, but here's how you know. If I give you consistently 3 or 4 speaking tasks in a row, if you're consistently scoring between 24 and 26 points out of 30 on the speaking, you're ready. You have a really good shot of passing. It doesn't guarantee it. Because who knows what happens on the day of the test. Sometimes you get overly nervous or there's some problem there. But your English is pretty good if you do that. Now for the writing. Once you're scoring approximately 24 points on the writing, on the independent and integrated writing task, then you will know you are ready and you have finished that part of the test. So once you reach those 7 milestones in the different sections of my course, you, my friend, are ready to go take the TOEFL test, and I have a really good feeling that you have a really good chance of passing. I'm not going to guarantee anything. There's no guarantees in life, and I've learned that there's no guarantees with the TOEFL test, but I can say that you have a very good chance of reaching your TOEFL goal if you meet those standards.